Hey everybody, welcome back to King Brown Customs. Today I'm going to run you through some Evotech performance parts. I fitted the radiator grille on the front, and around the back we fitted the tail tidy. So first, opening the box from Evotech, we have the main tail tidy bracket here. It's pretty sturdy and lightweight, well made. All the clips, grommet, and then we have the cable tails and all your nuts and bolts, little brackets, reflector, and this is the main bracket that bolts to the bike and the number plate light. First off, you're going to want to unclip this little plastic piece under the stock tail. You push these pins in and these clips just pop straight out. And this is it removed. 2 clips and it just unslots out of the back. Now grab a 4mm Allen key to undo these 4 screws here. They hold on the little fairings on outside. Then these bolt here, one on each side, is 12mm. As you can see here, a 12mm socket. Once you pull those bolts out, there's a spacer in each side. Make sure you grab hold of that and don't lose it. And underneath these rubber flaps, there's also another bolt, 12mm head, same on each side. Next, you need to remove the entire side fairing off each side. So you want to remove this one screw here, and then further up there's this screw here. You want to remove that one, and then at the end, this screw here. That should pop it off with these grommets and their locators on the bike. There's one there, and there's one at the rear, right there. Just be careful, on either side of the taillight there's these little locator tabs, and they can snap off easily. Now you're going to disconnect these 3 connectors. They're your number plate light and your indicators. And then unclip this little cable tie clip here. Just be careful not to destroy it. It can be quite fragile. Then you can pull those cables out. To remove the standard tail, there is one of those little plastic push clips in here, and then 4 little bolts that hold that on. Once the tail's off, this little panel should unslot from the bottom. It has a little clip there that holds it in. It's filthy. Give that a clean before I put it back on. And that's it. It's a good idea to keep this aside in case you have to reuse it at any point. With the Evotech tail, I'm going to screw this little number plate light onto the bracket here with these 2 screws. Feed the cable through that hole. And they're the standard bullet terminals it comes with, but I'm going to chop those off and solder on the tail of one of these. I'm not going to use the bullet connectors. These are the little screws from the kit, 2 of that hold the light on. There we go, screwed on, all done. Now I've attached the main bracket with the 4 screws and the grommet slotted in between for the cables to pass through. Here I've attached the indicators to the bracket with the little quick clips, cable tie bracket through with the 2 little holes along the seam of the bracket. As you can see there, the cable ties sit through the 2 little holes. I didn't need to use the bottom ones because the cables weren't quite long enough. Probably due to me cutting and soldering, but it is what it is. Here's the number plate wiring with the supplied adapter tail, which makes the cabling quite long and leaves a fair bundle up under the seat. So instead of running this adapter with the bullet connectors, I'm going to chop it here, and then I'm going to chop this one about there and solder that directly onto the end of the number plate light, shorten it up. So I've dummied up the bracket just with 2 screws loosely to feed the cables up through the underside of the bike. And you have to be careful because under the light there's this tab that sticks out, which locates in there into the tail tidy bracket. Now that's all aligned, I'll put the 4 mounting screws in so I can then put these covers back on, something like this. The bottom under tray first, and then the side covers fairings as before. Just reverse order using the new clips supplied where possible. This is what you should be left with. I've kept it aside just for safekeeping. In case I ever get defected, I can just bolt it back on and should pass over inspection straight away. And here's the end result. Before, after. Before, after. Looks way better. Now here we have the Evotech radiator guard. Fresh in the packet. Evotech always package everything in cardboard and paper, which is pretty good, I reckon. Not wasting useless plastic everywhere. Here's the guard, and here's the little rubber stoppers that go through the guard and sit against the radiator. There's nothing else in the packet. So yeah, it's all laser cut and pressed, and as per usual, Evotech stuff is always top notch. Now I'm going to fit these 6 little rubber stoppers into the radiator guard, and you got to look for the round holes. There's one there, there's one at the top in the middle, and there's one there at the top. And then we move to the bottom, and there's a row of round holes at the bottom as well. There's this one here, another one in the middle, and another one on the end. And the stoppers just press into them holes so that it sits against the radiator and doesn't chatter away where holes in your radiator cause any damage. So just pop these stoppers into the holes like that. Make sure you're putting them on the right way as well. You want them on the side that faces the radiator, and then it should look something like that. And then you're going to just go ahead and fit the rest in all the other holes. Should end up something like this. All the stoppers in place, and then you can see when we flip it over, they protrude out on the inside and sit against the radiator to protect it from the guard chattering against it. Now you want to remove the 2 screws that hold on the little radiator fairings on the sides, on both sides. Once you've done that, you can grab your guard, which you need to slot over one side in place, and then line it up with the side closest to you and slot it over there so that the bolt holes line up nicely. Line up the side fairings and the bolt holes on each side. Install the 2 screws on each side, and then the job's finished. All done. And there you have it. Very simple install. Now you've got some rock protection for your radiator. There's nothing going through that. Thanks for tuning in to King Brown Customs. Like and subscribe. Share with your mates if you found this helpful. Next episode, I'll be going over a Kelpie Custom Moto seat upgrade.